Okay, so this is going to be a really fast summary of the changelog from the 12th of September. I'm going to speed through these because there's so many changes here, so I'm going to do it nice and fast for you. So there is a new minimap. The icons are different for all the characters. The map looks a bit different. There is a new behavior system, so you can now report people for abusing text chat, pausing, stuff like that, voice chat abuse. There's low priority queues for people that avoid games, and misrepresenting the reports can put you in those as well. New players that are queued solo will only match with other new players until they get 4 wins. The lane allocation of 1-1-2-2 or 2-2-1-1 isn't possible anymore, so now your duo lanes are in the middle always. A 6-player party will no longer match against solo players. Longer time for 6 stacks, better experience for solo. The 5-player party size is no longer a thing. AFK players will be automatically kicked, and there's a bit more of a time for the abandon there. Bounce pads visuals are replaced with a wind fan. This is a lot better. You can see where the push is going to send you. Some of them sent you upwards, some of them sent you forwards. You couldn't really tell. Now you can. The urn now has little frog spirit legs. These are cool. It just makes the urn look a bit more natural when it's going back. Orange zipline is now green. Nothing really to say about that. So the spacebar no longer counts as abilities. You have to use the same ability. Absolutely fine. You can change the timings for double cast, for double tap even. So you can change the slider to make that work. Holding tab now does a lot of the things that holding alt did previously. Alt is really more for upgrading, and is no longer has a cursor mode. So tab is going to be the thing you do most of the stuff on. The sandbox or practice has an MS for how quickly you're hitting those last hits. This is a great little performance improvement when you're warming up. Very awesome. I forgot to say, matchmaking is open for 24/7 as well in all regions, so no more queue times. You can play for as long as you want. Otherwise, a couple of quality of life stuff is going on here. So you can change the upgrade keybinds. You can create console commands for private lobbies, so you can set up custom games easier. Mid-boss health is mid-boss low health raw is more distinct from the spawn sound, and you can set maximum FPS in game a lot easier now. A bunch of quality of life stuff here. I'm not going to go into it too much, but essentially there's better sound and more obvious effects, things like that. So things like echo shard sound effects, proc sound effects, everything like that is a bit more obvious, which is awesome. We love that. Miscellaneous gameplay here. Orbs now favor the claimer rather than the denier when both are within a very narrow window. This is a nice change, I think. I think because of how strong it is to deny, having this is beneficial. The flex slot has moved from first walker to 2 walkers. This is going to slow down the game a lot. I think that's a really important thing. The games are very fast right now, and having a flex spot move there is going to help steady the pace a little bit. All ability and item cooldowns are increased by 6% globally, same effect, slowing the game down. Respawn time is 35 instead of 40, fantastic, great change. This means that later, it doesn't have to be so late in the game to be punished for bad decisions. Tier 4 item costs are down 100. I think this is a great change as well. It's a ball ache to save for those. Shield regeneration time down from 60 to 50, great change as well. Shields take way too long as they are currently. Things like Veil Walker are so powerful because of that. Wall jump activation is a bit more lenient and the angle is a lot stronger. The jump shooting lockout is reduced, so you can jump shoot a lot better. And souls from bosses come out a bit more spread. Rope climbing is faster. Taking damage will slow you on the rope that isn't a DOT. The registration for hit on melee is a lot better. The mid-boss warns you at 60% instead of 50%. And the walker beam is a lot shorter range. A successful parry no longer locks you out as long as it did before, and a couple of quality of life stuff here as well. So things like gun reloading when you've got a larger mag, great change, because the amount of times I press reload when I've got a bigger mag is ridiculous. Right, items, the main part of all of this. Headshot booster is down 5, needed, it's very strong early. High velocity mag is also down on 2% weapon damage, valid, is also strong early. Restorative shot, 5 healing on champions and heroes and troopers. But great change, we love this. Hollow Point round is getting a conditional 2%. Also a nice change there. Rapid fire rounds is a good change here, I think. Looks a bit weird, you're losing 3% fire rate. The point of rapids is to get faster, right? But the minus 50 max health is a big issue for certain characters like Hayes, who goes down to 450 HP with this. So now that is fixed. That is a great change. Active reload lifesteal is down 2%. You won't notice that too much. You don't really build it for the lifesteal, in my opinion. Mystic Shot has bullet fall off, but has reduced cooldown. I think this is a net negative because the flat amount was always really good, and it was really easy to apply that damage. Berserker bullet resist reduced by 1%, not too much to notice. Long range bullet shield increased by 50. I think this is a great change. So following the theme of the melee changes here, there's going to be a lot of these. Melee charge. The charge distance is moved to the innate section. Passive has an 8-second cooldown. You won't really notice that because you're not going to need it more than every 8 seconds a fresh mag usually. When the passive triggers, you deal a 20% extra melee on that proc, and it gives you a UI indication when the reload goes through. We love it being more obvious what's going on. Soul Shredder bullets, damage up by 1%. Fleet footwork, 1 second less speed. 4 second less cooldown, plus 15 HP. It's a pretty good change, I think. I think there's still a great item, still going to be worth purchasing on a lot of those characters. Warpstone is down by 2 meters. I think Warpstone is very overloaded as an item, so it does not surprise me that they've reduced the dash a little bit there. Heroic Aura, the active move speed is reduced from 3 to 2. Makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are buying that item, and I think the move speed is very strong. Burst Fire gives 70 more health, sorry. So again, this is going to be great alongside stuff like Rapid Rounds. Wraith and Haze are going to really like this. Sharpshooter bullet health is increased from 175 to 200. Bullet resist on Hunter's Aura down from minus 10% to minus 9. Titanic Mag is up 3% on bullet resist. Alchemical Fire up 4 Spirit Fire. This is looking more and more strong every day. I think this might be a good item. Titanic Mag is looking good there as well. Crippling Headshot, debuff reduced from 5 to 4. I didn't think it was that strong, so I'm surprised that's the thing. Lucky Shot, this seems very scary to me. The bonus damage getting 10% is kind of crazy, especially considering all the fire rate stuff went up. Glass Cannon max stacks from 5 to 7. It's a crazy snowball item. If you're ahead and you get Glass Cannon, you can probably run away with the game now. You can get up to 70% weapon damage by just killing people now, so pretty wild. Silencer damage increased from 15 to 20. That did not need to happen. Frenzy linger duration from 4 to 6 seconds. Fantastic. I've never bought that item in my life, but here you go. Maybe there's a first time for everything. Vitality items. Healing Right gives 3 spirit power. Also, it gives nothing pretty much right now apart from health, and obviously the active effect. Enduring Spirit goes up to 10% Spirit Lifesteal. I think this is a very strong change. Melee Lifesteal is down, and that's great because I think that's too strong. Also, Health Nova, a couple of changes here. It builds out of Healing Right, gets the Spirit Power, range reduction. It's a nice transition item with Healing Right. You don't have to sell it anymore. You can turn it into an item that's pretty usable. Previously, it was on Rescue Beam, but nothing too crazy there. Okay, so we've got Divine Barrier drops from 300 to 260. Not too much of a change, a little bit there. The fact that they charge back faster means it's not too bad, right? Rescue Beam down from 30% to 26. Cast range is reduced, but no longer requires Healing Right. So that means 500 cheaper. The cast range is slightly down and the heat is slightly down. I think this is pretty good in general because you still get the effect of pulling someone. It's just from a little bit closer. Fortitude doesn't reset on lane minions. That's good quality of life. Life Strike melee damage is reduced from 40 to 35. Abrams nerf. Guman nerf. Nothing too crazy. Majestic Leap is down from 24 to 22. And so is Metal Skin down from 22 to 20. So these are nice changes. Good cooldown changes there. Inhibitor bug fix. Colossus radius is up to 12 meters from 10. Reduced from 45 to 35. So that's pretty big. Phantom Strike changes here is huge. This item's got a big hit, pretty bad. The one-shot combos that people were doing with this were crazy. So damage is based 75 down and down from 2 to 1 on Spirit Power, which is awesome. Soul Rebirth no longer gives weapon damage and cooldown reduction is down 3%. This is, I think, a really big change. Now you buy it for the effect, not the stats. Pretty big there. Spirit Strike melee damage down by 3%, debuff duration down by 2 seconds, shield down by 20, and the regen is reduced by 0.2. So again, big effect there, big effect. Mystic Reach has now got 1% on the resist and 1% on the range. Nice little change. Extra Spirit from 8 to 9. Marginal with Extra Spirit there, pretty nice. Ammo Scav. This is a nice change, I think. Neutral kills count as a soul capture, and buff duration increases. So killing camps will stack Ammo Scavenger. This is one of the most slept on efficient items that you can get. I think it's good. Withering Wisp, the active slow fire rate thing, is up to 10%. Slowing Hex, projectile speed is slightly up. All nice. Quicksilver Reload, damage increase by 15. That's pretty nice as well. Kind of forget that it actually has that. Surge of Power ability now grants 10% fire rate. Rapid Recharge grants 12% weapon damage, and Tier 1 gives 6%. This is actually a really big change for a lot of characters here, I think. So, big change here. Burst loses 1% max health damage. I think that's needed. It's just crazy at the moment. Spirit Power increase from 6 to 8 on Reach. So, Reach is looking pretty good at the moment. Torment Pulse is getting 15 HP, good for tanks. Silence Glyph is losing 50 shield. Valid, comes back faster. Everyone builds this fucking thing, so... Echo Shard from 8 to 12. They really want to make this item good. Okay, Abrams changes. Couple of changes to the ult still. Shoulder Charge turn bait is down, and the health recovery on his E is down. The Shoulder Charge change we experimented with by base. If you get duration, you still can't parry him in between the Shoulder Charge. If they get debuff reducer, they can now parry you, even if you have duration. So something to bear in mind. It just makes it a little bit easier to parry in between. Bebop no longer roots you during cast time. He can keep firing if he jumps and is warmed up. Recent changes to the hook to have the alternate cast modes have changed, and the range is reduced as well. The 5-meter splash damage means that you can hurt people around corners. I think this is a nice change, actually. I think this is pretty good. Dynamo, heal doesn't cancel when you use stamina, and the aura is reduced from 4% to 3.8 max HP. Slight change there, but the stamina is a nice quality of life. You can jump to your teammates to heal them. Connect Pulse slow is down 5%, and the cooldown is up on the entanglement jump by 1 second as well. So pretty good changes there. Grey Talon, couple of bug fixes where things were hitting through walls. That's gone. Rain of Arrows scaling is reduced, but damage per growth boon is up. So over time, that's going to equate to more damage, but in the short run is going to reduce it. And Guided Owl cooldown is down as well. Sleep Dagger buff fix. Infernus base health down 25, but slow resist up 20% is a net positive, I think. It brings his HP more in line with those other carries. Silence drop from 4.5 to 4 is pretty good. Kelvin, big nerfs here. Massive changes to Kelvin. The last patch he was overtuned, and this is going to really send him back. So Arctic Beam fire rate is down from 80% to 40. So the Ice Beam reducing fire rate is a lot less. Arctic Beam fire rate is a lot less prominent now. So if you're playing Haze, Wraith, stuff like that, you're going to notice this. The movement slow is there, and it's down 10%. It's very little. The big part of this is going to be objectives and rejuvenators are now frozen and invulnerable whilst under frozen shelter. So what that basically means is you can't just ult the mid-boss rejuvenator anymore. Massive change. Lady Geist, slight increases on her buff and scaling, on her bomb and scaling, sorry. Good changes. A little bit of Geist damage, we love it. Tried the Lash stuff out. The gun scaling is a little bit worse, but you have more control of ground slam and the scaling is better. This is, I think, positive for Lash. McGinnis changes. Seems to lean more towards the spirit side of things, so increasing ranges, gives her range scaling on the heal. She can't wall jump off her wall anymore, but I don't know how much people were doing that. And the duration is lower, and both the ult and the wall can be used closer to you. Moen Krill can now use his heal whilst using combo, and the tier 2 duration is lower. Nice, good change, I think, on that one. Makes sense. The barrage damage on Pocket is down, as well as the slow. Both valid changes, I think. One of the more annoying abilities that he has. There's 7/7 changes here. 7/7/7. Base bullet resist is gone. Bullet resist no longer scales with the boons that you get, so that is the milestones that you hit for souls that give you buffs. That's down. Headshot reduction is increased because he has a fat head. And the ult damage radius is damage is down. Max radius is down. Cooldown is down, and it's more clear when he's ulting. Pretty nice changes, I think, there. It all makes sense. Nothing too crazy. Nothing that anyone was surprised by here. Shiv, slice and dice damage down 20. Deferred damage clearing down to 40. Full bonus killing blow bonus damage from full rage is reduced by 5%. And the tier 2 will increase your rage amp by 5%. Pretty nice changes. Shiv's one of the more annoying characters right now. Vindicta changes, I really like everything that's going on here. Base damage is down, makes sense. She's quite oppressive. The stake snare is down by 0.25, so you have a bit more time to get away. The Crow Familiar reduces bullet armor, so that's actually going to counteract the bullet damage if you hit that. The impact damage is down, and the spirit scaling is down as well. So your spirit is doing a bit less. You can now dash whilst flying, so that's a nice buff. And you can assassinate for 20% more damage whilst getting a headshot. That is a huge, huge change, I think. I think this is really good. And the assassinate gold is shared with the sisters. So anyone that helps you get that is going to get bonus gold for that. I think that is actually going to make her a lot better. She's a lot less greedy and a lot less snowbally. Viscous Puddle Punch knocks people up in the cube better. It's more telegraphed. His gun does 1 less damage. His splatter does 10 less damage. The turn rate's improved and the stun frequency is up. So sort of quality of life stuff there. Nothing too crazy. Warden, bullet growth down. Chemical flask down in range and duration. But you do get bullet resist during your ult. So I think this is actually a nice change in total. It's hard to tell. I think it's definitely worth seeing. But the ult is definitely feels kind of trash on Warden sometimes. Wraith card trick down by 20 base damage, but the scaling's up by 0.3. Means she's better late game, worse in the lane. You need like 2,000 souls for this to even out if you're going full into it. So it's a pretty good change, I think. I think that's fair. Nice scaling. Ammo scales with Spirit Power and Yamato. Spirit slash damage is slightly down. The post cast duration is reduced, and the Shadow Transformation resistance is down. So you're a bit more vulnerable there. You can interrupt power slash with parry. Now we tried this out, and if somebody tries to heavy melee you whilst you're power slashing, you can actually cancel it early with your own parry, parrying them and releasing the power slash damage, so definitely worth it. The map changes. So as you can see here, there is a new Veil window here, which leads from the Curiosity Shop on the middle lanes. The middle lane's green, and there is a little bit of overhang stuff going on in spawn. The ropes that they added to the outside of the buildings are now inside the buildings, removing the stairs in here, so the access is a little bit different going on in there. All in all, pretty positive changes, good balance changes, good quality of life stuff going on in the beginning, and all the item changes kind of make sense. So let me know what you think about these. If there's anything that stands out in particular, then let me know. And hopefully this is informative. I'll leave the patch notes in the description. And if you want to have some more resources for Deadlock guides and things like that, make sure you follow the Discord and sub to the channel, because I'll be releasing 2 videos a week, 2 streams a week, and posting on social media all the time. Much love. Thank you very much for watching.
Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one?